Sure, video essays are nice, but the vast majority of them are poorly researched, poorly edited, and they're all analyzing the same stuff. So, I mean, what's the point, right?
Hi, my name is Camila, and this is my video about scholarly video essays and where they fall in the technical writing field. I chose this topic because I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I noticed a lot of trends that come with today's version of the video essay. Mainly that they all seem scholarly. People are dressed up, they're sitting down, talking about topics with confidence, and the audience assumes that they are scholarly. However, upon second glance, you can see the cracks in the facade. There's usually no sources in the description, and there's a lot of opinion being mixed in with facts. For this essay, I explore the scholarly video essay, what makes it scholarly, and if it's considered technical writing. For this essay, I wanted to tackle the definitions of subjects being discussed. I explore the definition of technical writing, the video essay, and the scholarly. I wanted to explore the gray areas in all of these definitions, making sure to point out how subjective they can be. I also wanted to create my own definitions based on some definitions that I gathered by scholars, and create my own. I explore and define technical writing, the video essay, and what is considered scholarly. In many aspects, technical writing can be described as how-to manuals. However, there's a problem with what kind of how-to manuals are being considered technical writing. An example of this is somebody can easily say that a bike manual that explains how to fix a bike is considered technical writing. On the other hand, there are some who don't consider works like cookbooks, which are essentially how-to cook manuals, as technical writing. However, there are problems that arise when we try to specify and define what technical writing is. As Joe Allen put it in the case against defining technical writing, one of the problems with our attempts to define technical writing is the recognition that we cannot agree on the proper inflection of the term we are trying to define. Is it technical writing, implying that we write about technology as a sole subject matter, or is it technical writing, implying that we follow stringent rules in the practice of writing regardless of subject matter? There are many arguments, both for and against creating a more rigorous definition of technical writing. An advantage of its strict definitions is that it would help regulate the academic field of technical writing, as well as it would also set apart technical writers from regular writers. There are many sources that stress the writing aspect of technical writing is the most important aspect of it, arguing that the style, tone, and objectivity of the writing is what makes it technical, while others stress that the technical aspect of technical writing, focusing on what technology is written about, is the most important part. There are also disadvantages that come with having strict definitions of technical writing. Technical writers basically have a set of guidelines or criteria that they can follow in order to meet these said requirements of technical writing. However, these guidelines leave room for people to pick and choose what counts and what doesn't count as technical writing, which often leaves room for human error. More often than not, this means that there are many who are and still were being excluded from the technical writing field without any real reasoning other than it just doesn't feel right. For this essay, I have come to my own definition of technical writing by using Charles R. Stratton's article, Technical Writing, What Is and What Isn't, as a guide. Technical writing is writing that emphasizes the information being presented rather than the writer's opinion about it. The principal concern of technical writing should be to bring the reader to understand the information that is being provided to them. Technical writing focuses on connecting the reader with information and not necessarily connecting the reader to the author, as shown in Stratton's image, the technical writing focus. Finally, technical writing is teaching. You are teaching the reader what you know or have learned, and you use description, narration, and argumentation to get your point across. Technical writing also does depend on the stringent writing rules that focus on its style and aesthetic. However, for this essay, I will not be focusing on the writing aspect like style, as I am focusing on the technical aspect of technical writing, because the guidelines definitions to technical writing is very one-size-fits-most approach. There's a lot of leeway to what is and what isn't considered technical writing. This leaves room for some to exclude certain things, writings, writers, and variations of the craft. This is where video essays come in. Attempting to define the video essay is still an ongoing process as it is essentially still in the beginning phases of conception. The approach to defining video essays is very similar to the definition guidelines of technical writing, where there is no set-in-stone definition but there is a guideline of characteristics that the video essay can meet. Video essays are created in many different genres. The main ones that are seen most often are commentary and criticism. The Augustine's Michelson Library states that video essays combine different forms of media, such as video and audio and text, to study or analyze a topic. Many have structure similar to a written essay with an introduction, body, and conclusion. An effective video essay will have a strong thesis or argument. Kathleen Locke also commented on the vast use of the video essay in her explanation of the field. From explanatory to poetic modes, from academic to more creative and artistic forms of thinking about film and media, such as a teaching tool and a form of academic outreach with the potential for public engagement as well as social critique, protest, and activism. However, there is more to the video essay than just converting a written essay into an audiovisual one. In an interview, Kevin B. Lee, founding editor-in-chief video essayist for Founders Keyframe, states that video essays aren't measured simply by how much talking or commentary is put into the video. Otherwise, we would just stick to writing articles and essay in text form. We also have to take into consideration how much thoughtfulness can be found in the reworking of the material through the use of editing, sound, and music. That is what makes the video essay such an exciting new form, because now we have to combine the criteria by which we measure a good critical thinking with good filming as well. Similarly, Ariel Bernstein, an essayist and cultural critic, states that video essays are about creating a kind of analytic framework for the viewer to reinterpret or reimagine original images. Kyle de Guzman, in his article, What is a Video Essay? The Art of Video Analysis Essay, states that a video essay is a video that analyzes a specific topic, theme, person, or thesis. Because video essays are a rather new form, they can be difficult to define but recognizable nonetheless. To put it simply, they are essays in video form that aim to persuade, educate, or critique. I like this definition because it mentions how video essays analyze and aim to persuade, educate, or critique. I think that is an important aspect of the video essay because it separates it from general videos or regular essays. Similarly, Kathleen Locke's definition of what the video essay should be goes as follows. The scholarly video essay should unfold academic arguments in a dialogue with images and sound. I think that academics who produce video essays need to reflect on the critical potential of the themes, concepts, and theories they explore for their use of academic language and politics. So, my combined definition of video essays goes as follows. Video essay is an analysis of a specific topic, theme, person, or thesis, and they aim to persuade, educate, or critique. Video essays should also discuss academic arguments through dialogue with images and sound, and they also need to reflect on themes, concepts, and theories they explore. However, there is a problem that lies in the versatility of the definition of video essays. In her essay, In Search of Academic Legitimacy, Kathleen Locke states that, not surprisingly, there are disagreements about what constitutes legitimate scholarship. Locke goes on to state that if video essays want to meet academic standards of regular scholarly essays, then it will probably have to continue to depend on the written essay aspect of it. So now we are faced with a new problem. What constitutes as scholarly? There are many criticisms of video essay. Here's one that was left on Taylor Williams' YouTube channel.
I'm so tired of these videos popping up in my suggested, more and more fake deep, surface level analysis from a personality-less channel with 10 to 20,000 subscribers. This video is the epitome of mediocrity in every form. I left this video with no knowledge, and yet I wasn't entertained by it either. What is the point of these shallow analysis videos?
While kind of mean, the commentator hits on many of the cracks that come along with video essays. When creators want to hop on the trend of a video essay to get views and clicks, they are more likely to lose sight of what the purpose of a video essay is, which is an analysis of a specific topic, theme, person, or thesis, with the aim to persuade, educate, or critique. Austin McConnell, a popular video essayist, states that,
Sure, video essays are nice, but the vast majority of them are poorly researched, poorly edited, and they're all analyzing the same stuff, so I mean, what's the point, right?
in the era of fake news, it is important that you can provide your readers or viewers with reassurance that you not only know what you're talking about, but that you're also providing accurate and credible information. The technical aspect of video essays, like editing, can be learned the more that one practices it, but the research aspect relies solely on what sources are used. So what constitutes as scholarly? Temple University's library has a table that outlines what does and what doesn't qualify as a scholarly source. While these characteristics are great, they also take a guidelines approach like the definition of technical writing. This means that there's also a lot of room for interpretation. For example, what counts as a subject specialist and an expert of the field? What counts as scholars in reference to the audience? And some of these are subjective and can mean different things to different people. Video essays are still new and they have a lot to offer the scholarly community. However, because they are still new, it is also difficult to place them on a scholarly spectrum. One can include sources into a video essay, but depending on the topic and how many scholarly articles or peer-reviewed journals one can include for said topic is what eventually will constitute a video essay as scholarly. This is actually a problem that I faced in my essay. My approach was to get insight into the video essay field by going directly to those who make them. I was going to rely on subject specialists and experts in the field, as Temple University Library suggested. This was going to help me make my claims along the way. The problem arose when I submitted my bibliography and was informed by our professor that my topic was supposed to be researched in scholarly articles, not popular sources. A lot of the articles, if not most, were by people who were pioneers of the video essay field. And while they were not peer-reviewed journals, there's a lot of stake in what the experts of a field have to say. Either way, I had to go back to the drawing board. This time, I was determined to find multiple scholarly sources, partially for the grade, but also because I want to instill trust into my audience that comes along with having a well-researched essay. Come to find out, there are not that many scholarly sources that cover video essays because they are still relatively new to the field. So, I was presented with a new problem. How does one start the scholarly conversation, especially when there seems to be virtually no discussions being held about it? So, for this essay, I had to redefine scholarly. I had to Frankenstein a definition for scholarly, one that would include future scholarly conversations and wouldn't rule them out just because they are new and there isn't much research done on them, as is the case for video essays. That definition goes as follows. To constitute as scholarly, it must be written by experts in their particular field or provide sources from experts in a particular field. They can have a limited audience, but they can also serve a general audience, as long as there is information that is being provided in a way that they can understand. I went with this definition because it leaves enough leeway for conversations about topics that don't have much research done on them yet. I also think that scholarly articles can serve a general audience as long as they are understanding. I'm not sure why there's an audience for scholarly articles. To me, it makes no sense to only have researchers, scholars, and experts be the audience. Knowledge should be for anyone and everyone who wants it. I do, however, want to emphasize that there is a need to include expert knowledges and sources. This includes traditionally scholarly articles like the ones that Temple University Library mentioned, but it also includes experts in any field, their interviews, comments, and works. I think it is an important part to include because this is what was limiting me before, and I can see how it can be limiting for others who are also writing about newer topics. Overdefining technical writing is exclusive to many types of medium that are still trying to change the traditional field of technical writing. The video essay is still very new in its concept, but the media allows for a wide range of audiences and provides information in an entertaining way. However, they are still going to have to rely on the written essay to meet academic standards. There also needs to be some leeway with what is considered scholarly writing, especially when looking at the fields that are new and don't have much scholarly writing that is being done about them. Video essays are still being pioneered. We can see the tremendous success they have had, especially on platforms such as YouTube. They garner millions of views and are somewhat more entertaining than the traditional written essay. This media will continue to prosper, and with the right redirections, as stated in this essay, hopefully they will prosper in the academic field as well. However, for video essays to be considered academic or scholarly, they are going to need to rely on the written essay aspect of them. They're going to need to use academic sources when possible, but they are also going to have to work in scholarly gray areas. To be considered technical writing, video essays first need to be considered scholarly. To be considered scholarly, videos have to include sources provided by experts in the field. To tackle this, we must bend the rules of what constitute as scholarly, to create new conversations in the academic field.